All right, we'll try this again. It is 8:14, so I'll stay over the extra time here, the additional 15 minutes. So we get an hour of chiller chatting in. I have no idea what happened. We fixed, Tom says. we'll we'll see. Fingers are crossed, and we'll see if this works. Stephanie says, "Hey y'all, did it work? I'm helping. You guys tell me." Roger says, "Good evening. You're back. I am back, and hopefully for good this time, at least for another hour." I could not get the chat up. I could get the OBS. I could get, the camera working, which I'm still on this view. I just didn't think to change it. I don't mind this view. I just, I don't know if you guys prefer the other way. The other way is kind of like I kind of had a little bit more room to put pictures up here, but that was about the only advantage. But yeah, if you're new here, if you're just jumping on, normally we're on from 8 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So I finally got this thing kicking at 8:15. If you're leaving at 9, I totally understand. I'll probably stick around till at least 9:15 if you're all on here still interacting. If not, maybe we'll just call it at 9 o'clock. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear. So how's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully doing fairly well. Better than my situation here, hopefully. Just one of those nights, I guess. Yeah, I've never had that happen. I could not pull up the chat. And that's what makes the show. You guys chatting with me and each other. Patty says, just stopped in briefly to say I can't be with you tonight. Too much to do with no break coverage. Have fun all and stay safe. Oh, thank you, Patty. Well, thanks for stopping in here, and hope you have a good night. So, and you stay safe as well and have fun. As much as you can have at work anyways, and not get in too much trouble. So that's what's going on tonight. Anybody see any good horror movies this week? Anything out? I really haven't been keeping up with things, movies and stuff coming out, just because I've had so much going on here. But I'm having a better week than what I had anyways. So Al says, hey everyone, it's chiller night. It is. Thanks for joining us, Al. Stephanie says, good. Got back earlier tonight from dinner with friends at the pizzeria. Oh, that sounds nice. Very nice. But it says, hello, Brian. You there? I am here. How about you? I see you're on Facebook right now. We were having some issues there when I first came on. I could get the show running, but I had no chat. And every time I was typing in the search bar, everything was just blank, totally blank. Nothing was coming up. So John Wayne says, hello, everyone. Recipe for world peace. Let everything be controlled by computers, and there will be no more wars because nothing works anymore. Maybe, unless they're having us get let our guard down, thinking that very same thing. But yet there's something nefarious behind their motives. You never know. You never know. Bonin says, yep, I couldn't hold you YouTube. Yeah, well, I don't know. Everything was on this end, at least tonight. I couldn't get the show working, and now it's, hold on a second. I think I figured out a way last week to do that. I like that picture better. If I do that, I get out of the way of the camera, and then I come back. I think this might do it. Aha. All right. Brad says, coming in 2027 to public domain, Dracula and Frankenstein. Awesome. Tuesday. John says, it's Tuesday night, and it's time for chiller night. This is Crozak the Grand, and here he is, the reason why we meet here. And now here's Bryan Hogue. Thank you, Crozak the Grand, for once again another fantastic intro. Appreciate that. Stephanie says, I saw last voyage of the meter until I saw one scene that literally freaked the heck out of me, so I stopped watching and went on to something else. Oh, really? You didn't finish it? But were you enjoying it up until the part that freaked you out? Hopefully you were. Brad says, you must ask Jack Shadow out of retirement, Brian. I think he might just do that as a special favor to me. You never know. Bennett says, now your background is going fuzzy. It was. I corrected that a lot quicker than I did the chat page for some reason. We were going to have a show with no chat. Were we? No, actually we weren't, because I wouldn't have even considered such a abomination. Bonehead says, hey, hello Brian, there you are. Hey, there you are on YouTube. All right, Bonehead. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Yeah, we're just having some really crazy issues tonight. Strange. And I didn't even do any updates. I had the option to, but I thought, no, not going to do that. Not going to do that. No, not before a show. I'm not going to. Well, I don't think it would have made the situation worse, actually, now that I think about it. All right, so. Well, last week we did have Chiller Night Theater on Stream TV, and what did play? I believe we had. Let me look at what we had just Saturday, just a few nights ago. Again, it is still playing on Stream TV. It's on every Saturday night. Oh yeah, we had Carnival of Souls, Stream TV did, and then it was followed up by The Bat on Stream TV, and that's at streammedia.tv, and that's right there. And then where's the other one? Oh yeah, this. Well, let me just remove that logo here. Get a little smaller here. Now this one is WON Television Network from New York, and the show will play on that channel. Supposedly, that's what I'm told. So I'll reserve that logo for if and when that occurs. But when it says, "Wow, I'm really getting a workout tonight trying to get your show." Well, I hope you're getting it now. It should be on. It's supposed to be. You may need to do the update so the app will work properly, maybe. I don't know. It's probably, it could very well be. Let's see. Brad says, coming in 2028 to public domain, Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Mummy, and Island of Lost Souls. Those sound cool. Now, I think Jack Shadow would very much enjoy hosting those. Let's see. All right, so while we're here and while we're jumping on here, and it's 8:23, so we haven't even been on 10 minutes yet, but I'm going to go ahead and just, what the heck, I'm going to go ahead and plug my zombie outbreak escape room. I'm looking to see if I have. Let's try the ad. Oh, should we dare? Do we even dare try this? Okay, let's try it.
Chiller Night Escape Experience presents Zombie Outbreak Escape Room. You and your team of scientists are sent to inspect a top-secret laboratory in a hidden military bunker. Sinister experiments have resulted in reanimating the dead. The facility is now swarming with the living dead, and you have 1 hour to escape or be overrun by zombies. Can you survive a zombie outbreak? Book your escape room appointment to find out. Book online at chillernight.com or call 814-209-8214. Gift certificates available at the store counter.
Speaking of the store, there it is. Now, you just saw the zombie outbreak. There's the entrance to it in the very, very center there, looking straight back. That's the first room to it, and it kind of veers around to the if you're looking at it to the left. You can see Jack Shadow's House of Terror, the entryway there to the left, and then to the right you can see the little hut, little house there the facade, the entryway to the witching hour. There's a neater look at the entryway to Jack Shadow's House of Terror. That's all at Chiller Night Escape Experience, my horror-themed escape room at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, Pennsylvania. So check it out, Zombie Outbreak and the Witching Hour, which will be open soon. Jack Shadow's House of Terror. It is seasonal, so we'll be open up again in October. That is if the world holds together until then. Not looking too good, but John Wayne says, I had a homemade pizza earlier, which gives me the idea. What food do y'all like to sneak into the cinema? Wow, it's been so many years since I've even been to a cinema. I would say, I mean, I don't even remember. I'm thinking maybe some candy, a box of candy or something, like a Milk Duds, maybe. I don't know. I normally don't sneak food in, but I think I have in the past. I probably have had to have taken something like that in. It's just too easy. Why wouldn't you? Let's see. Bonin says, "Hey, I'm getting the show, and Etchians too are getting my comments, so we're making forward progress somewhat, methinks." I think so. Methinks as well. Brad says, coming in 2029 to public domain, The Invisible Man and King Kong. Ah, man, we got some good ones coming up. D says, hi, y'all, late to the party. Not a problem, D, so are we. So was I. I just got this up and running 11 minutes ago, so we started out late tonight, so just if you can imagine whatever could go wrong went wrong. So Bonin says, I'm going to pass along greetings and best wishes to the Chiller Night crew and Brian and Miss Ava from our sweetheart of Scream, Miss Glamfangs. Ah, okay. Well, tell Glam that we miss her very much, and we appreciate the salutations from Glam. Nice hearing from her. Even if done so in proxy, so appreciate you passing that on to us. Bonehead Al says, it's the full moon that made everything go crazy before. It does. Full moons will do that. I don't doubt it. Stephanie says, candy and a sandwich from Arby's when the movie starts around noon. Oh, that sounds good. Deborah, hey Deborah, thanks for joining us. Deborah says, good evening, Chiller Thrillers. Good evening, Deborah. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Tom says, I had a homemade pizza tonight, too. JW, great minds, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, homemade pizza tonight. Homemade pizza, really. The closest... No, I did make a homemade pizza one time. When I was in... was it in Cub Scouts or something? I remember the Den Mother... Actually, everything was from scratch. Even the sauce was actually made from tomatoes. And yeah, I do remember that. That was everything. But normally, I do remember just just hearing you guys say that. And that's something that both of you had homemade pizza tonight. That's interesting. It just takes me back to the Saturday nights watching Chiller Theater, and Mom would make Chef Boyardee, the pizza from the kits, from the box kits. Those are I enjoyed those. But it says, I got to talk to her and she's doing well. And I told her if you do a 2-hour show on Saturday, she'll definitely try to be there. All right. John Wayne says, homemade pizza is the best. Homemade pizza. What is, what do you, are you making your own sauce? What do you mean by homemade? Just not a something in a kit, I take it. Do you get the flour and make the dough for the... I don't know. That sounds like a lot of... Sounds pretty involved. I'm impressed. Brad says, coming in 2030 to the public domain, The Black Cat. A lot of good ones coming up. Tom says, let me clarify, I did not order out. I did not fabricate the pizza ingredients themselves. Okay. Okay. All right. Because I was thinking like that. That sounds like that would take quite a while. Bonin says I did. I did a poor man's pizza. Spread ketchup on a slice of bread, sprinkle some grated cheese on it, and imagine it's Papa John's. Ah, that takes. That sounds like that takes quite an imagination. Wow. Okay. Well, I hope it was good nonetheless. Uh, John says, "Why sneak food into the theater? Have you seen the prices lately?" Also, I seen the trailer for Boy Kills World, which looks like a mad trip. Also, who has seen the new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine? I saw that one. I did see that one. I've not seen the prices lately for food and stuff in the theater, but I remember what they used to be. And even like, gosh, I don't remember when the last time I went to a theater. Well, okay. I went. I don't know if this really like. Ava and I went last summer. Was it last summer? For Sound of Freedom, you know, when they were running that movie there about the human trafficking, the child trafficking. We went to that. But other than that, like before that experience, like before COVID and all that hit, I don't think I went to the movies since it was probably one of the Marvel movies, maybe Black Panther or something. I don't remember. But that's how long ago it's been. Black Panther, maybe? Was that it? Yeah, that might have been it. It's been a long time. But in saying that, I remember. I mean, the food was just horribly expensive, and I know that's how they make their money when you're leasing out the theaters. Uh, Raymond says, Raymond, thanks for joining us. Tom says, Deadpool and Wolverine looks awesome. Um, Nina says, I can't wait to come up and see you and Ava. All right, well, we can't wait either. Come on up. I'm so excited. She says, well, let us know when you're coming up, and we can show you the House of Terror and the escape rooms. So, are you coming up this summer? Like pretty soon? Let me know. Keep us informed. Well, that's cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Nina. All right. But Brad was saying there about these all these movies. If you just go back and look through the list of comments there of all these awesome classic movies coming out to the public domain. That's great. Ava says, "Yay!" to Nina. So Ava's recuperating. She just went. I took her to physical therapy today. She still can't drive yet because her hand's in a cast, or actually like a splint type thing. It's all wrapped up. So, you know, she's she's doing pretty good though. She's recovering. Gary says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is your escape room? I guess I'll put that as accurately as I can and say a 7. The reason being, it's about between 72 and 75% success rate. So I thought that was a pretty accurate answer to your question there. Nina says, replying to Ava, it's going to be awesome. That's cool. Yeah, but just to give you an idea, like I said, between 72 to 75% success rate for that. I'm not sure yet about about the witching hour. We'll wait and see. I have to run some practice groups through once I get all the stuff put in. John Wayne says, I still hadn't had the dough in the fridge, so I simply made the sauce from the tomatoes and topped it with cheese, salami, and pepperoni. Oh, that sounds good. So you really did make some homemade pizza. All right. I mean, in every sense of the word. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I only remember doing that one time in my life. And I was just, like I said, I was just a kid. I think I was in Cub Scouts or something. Uh, one of the den mothers, I don't know what that, I don't know why, I just remember doing that because I thought, wow, that seems kind of involved, like everything was homemade, like even the sauce, like what you just said. So, um, but that's kind of like a perfect like chiller Saturday night chiller movie. I'll tell you what, the memories of chiller theater when I was growing up watching that that caused me to just fall in love with the Hammer movies. I always loved watching Universal. I always have a memory of those. But I know that my love for Hammer horror was from Chiller Theater. Had to have been because that's how even right now I think of Saturday nights. My first thought is the Hammer horror. That's I just love that stuff. Brad says, coming next year. Okay, next year to public domain. Chamber of Horrors, The Haunted House, Hell's Bells, and Tsunamable. I don't know what that one is. I've never heard of that one, Brad, but those other ones sound pretty cool. Um, what was that for your cooking badge? I couldn't even. Do they have those in Cub Scout? I don't remember. I remember very little about that stuff. I don't know if they had cooking badges. That probably is what that was for, because I don't remember like why we would have done that in Cub Scouts. But I thought it was interesting. I had never cooked before, so. But I remember being in Cub Scouts, and I remember my mom for a while was a den mother, and I remember a very very awesome. This must be. I just we always loved horror and Halloween and haunted houses and stuff like that in my house because my mom, as a den mother, I remember her putting on this big Halloween party for our what do you call them, our troop or whatever. I don't remember. our, what is it, a den? I don't know what it was called, but I don't remember. It was so long ago. But oh my gosh, my mom, she just like that. She decorated our entire basement up. She had an assistant. I don't remember even who helped her, but it was just so awesome. She just did. She was so elaborate. Um, really went out of her way to do that. Bonin says, I think of Saturday nights I remembered Chiller Theater. That was the best. Uh, John Wayne says to Tom Paisley, don't be embarrassed. I even eat frozen ones occasionally. Stephanie says, whenever I feel like a homemade pizza, I only pepperoni, shredded mozzarella, a spoonful of sauce from the jar, and toasted English muffins. Oh, really? That's interesting. I gotta say, I don't remember ever making stuff like that to where, like, one of you mentioned a piece of bread with sauce on it or ketchup, and now an English muffin. That's interesting. Yeah, that'd make a nice little snack. But those were some of my favorites. Like Mom would make popcorn or a pizza for our chiller theater uh, night. Raymond says, when I was a Cub Master, the parents would drop off the scouts and split. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what my experience was as a scout. And I don't remember the parents staying when my mom was I don't know what were they, den mother or something like that, or maybe it was a Cub Master. I don't remember. I don't even remember the terminology. It was just so long ago. But yet you remember. So John Wayne says, this reminds me of my sandwich toaster pizza recipe. Who remembers French bread pizza? John says. Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah. Yep. I do remember that. Ah. Brad says, and here are also a list of horror and science fiction movies that are coming to the public domain next year. Uncheated and Delau. I don't know what that is. What in the world? UNCHIENANDALOU. So, imagine sitting here trying to make heads or tail what that even is. Have you ever seen that? Has anybody ever heard of that? Maybe if anyone's heard of that, I would be surprised. I don't know what that is, but maybe it's good. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. I've just never even heard of that, and I've never in my life attempted to pronounce it until just now. So hopefully, hopefully I did all right. Stephanie says my mom was a Girl Scout leader. Ah, cool. Yep. Rocky 78. Hello, good seeing you. Still enjoy watching The Thing. Hey, Rocky 78, thanks for joining us. The Thing, The Thing is excellent. The original or with James Arnaz or what the heck? The guy who played Marshall Dillon from I'm drawing a blank from the original or the remake, John Carpenter's Kurt Russell. Both are excellent. So Deborah says, my friend and I made a Chef Boyardee pizza not too long ago just to remember the taste. Oh, yeah? How was it, Deborah? Did it hold up? Was it everything you... was it pretty good compared to your memory of it? I don't know. I just... I wonder if they'd still be any good. I'm sure they would. I don't know why. It's pizza. Tom says, French movie, The Andalusian Dog, movie by Salvador Dali. That doesn't look like what I saw. Was that the French word name for it? I don't know. What's that supposed to be? Is that what is that? Unchien and Dolio, something like that, Brad writes. And then you're writing the Andalusian Dog movie by Salvador Dali. What? Brad says, I don't even know what that is, but here are the others. All right, right now, I'll just ask, just give me the English ones. How about that? How about we just do that? Or if you write them, if you write them down, I'll just let the viewers read it. Those of you who are reading it on here, I don't think I'm certainly not doing these titles justice. If you're looking to me like, what's he gonna read next? Something in English, hopefully. Stephanie says, oh, almost forgot. My mom and I saw The Wolfman on Svengoolie on Saturday. Oh yeah, The Wolfman. Excellent movie. I like it. James Arnaz Bunhead says, yes. Is that what it said? I thought so. That's what I was thinking anyways. Gunsmoke. John Wayne says, you didn't have to make any pizza yourself. I think you're sponsored by a pizza place. Yeah, I was sponsored by David Long's Vercelli Pizza there for a while. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I had Jack Shadow, who would order the pizzas. I gotta put a picture of Jack up there. Look at him. Just all his regality, all his dapper horror charm. But yeah, I had him ordering pizza, and he was ordering all this crazy, creepy stuff on the pizza. As monstrous topping selections. And he says, but no mushrooms. I think mushrooms are gross. Because I actually don't like mushrooms, so I just kind of thought that was funny. I thought it was funny. Deborah says, yes, it tastes the same. Even the cardboard box smelled the same. It was great. Oh, yeah? Awesome. I can almost still smell the sauce when you open up the little can. Bunny says, figures Tom Paisley would know that, LOL, right? Raymond says, can't you buy French bread pizzas at stores now? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, not that I haven't looked for them, but I guess I haven't seen them for years, but like I said, I haven't looked for them either. Tom says, it's a weird movie, Brian, not a standard narrative format. Is it a horror movie? Is it a horror? Raymond says, it's a Spanish breed of dog. Brad says, The Skeleton Dance. Okay, I've never seen it, but I can read and pronounce that one. That's coming to public domain. All right. Seems like there's quite a bit. And that's kind of awesome because like in the next, this is 2024, in the next 3-4 years or several years, like within the next 4 or 5 years, there's going to be a lot of really super cool movies come out. And probably a really good time to be a horror host. And if Jack's not doing too much, I'll probably have to give him a little tap on the shoulder and say, hey, come on back, at least for the special, do a couple special episodes of Chiller Night Theater. John Wayne reminds, I'm starting to read it like in my John Wayne voice. John Wayne says, oh, that reminds me, I forgot the mushrooms in the fridge. Okay. Tom says it has some disturbing scenes. Yep. Is it an older movie or is this something like fairly recent? If it's coming into the public domain, Brad says it's one of those scary cartoon shorts. Oh, The Skeleton Dance. Oh, that one. Okay, all right. I do know what you're talking about there. John Wayne says, Spanish dogs, that's more Chinese food. What? Raymond says, according to DuckDuckGo. Okay. Spanish dogs, that's more Chinese food. I don't know what that is. Tom says, Skeleton Dance was a 5-minute Disney cartoon. It was played before Snow White on its initial release, I believe. Is that right? 1930s, Tom says. I do. I know which one you're talking about. It looks like super old. That's cool. So that's coming out. Is that one of them, Brad, that you said was coming out next year? That's pretty cool. Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of cool, I do think of reviving the show, relaunching it, but I know it won't be now while I'm trying to build everything, and I'm still going to be doing that well into 2025, so maybe I can start toying around with the idea of if I did bring the show back, maybe I could start thinking about it in 2025 and maybe bring it back in 26. That'd probably be wait a minute. When did you say Dracula's coming out? Now I'm scrolling back. Brad says, okay. I know it was back here quite a way. But, maybe I could time this out just right. 2027, Dracula and Frankenstein. I think Jack will be back at least if he does come back, maybe a year before that. Maybe. We'll see. Tom says 1930s for the Dolly film, too. The Dolly film. Now, that one I missed. I'm not sure what the Dolly one. Oh, the dog. Wait a minute. Is that dog one you're talking about? That is disturbing? No. Oh yeah, Salvador Dali. Really? It's that disturbing for the 30s? Is it banned now, Raymond says. All right, somebody, if you guys know about this dog movie, do tell. Now I'm kind of curious, just because I just figured it, by the sounds of it, it was something, because even some movies in the 70s are like public domain, or even in the 80s are public domain now. So I was thinking, well, maybe it's a fairly new. I'm considering like the 70s, 80s, fairly newer as far as public domain goes. But I wouldn't have thought that would, the way you were describing it from the 30s. Brad says 7 Footprints to Satan. Yeah, I've never heard of that one. Wow. Raymond says I might not be alive in 2026. Oh, you'll be fine. I believe that 2024, that was, this year is the year I'm concerned about. I think once we make it past this one, we'll be doing a lot better. John says, question, who has voted for their favorite horror movie host for the Rondo Harton Award? Oh, I have not. I have not. So, my vote would be for Jack Shadow, though. But I'm sure he's not one of the options. But he ought to be. Tom says, yes. Andalusian Dog is a Salvador Dali, the painter film. Has a scene of an eyeball being cut open with a razor blade. Ah, jeez. Really? From the 30s? That's just something, wouldn't strike me as something that you would see in a movie back then. Wow. Okay, that was really pushing the edge back then. Bonus says, I'm just enjoying all this confusion. I know. and I'm pleasantly delighted that I didn't do anything to cause this calamity this time. Ah, innocence is bliss, he says. Yeah. John Wayne says, the sooner Jack returns, the better. Yeah, perhaps. Brad says, the mysterious island. Bonehead says, you are right. Raymond says, Bonehead, you are right. Tom says, have you seen his paintings, LOL? No, I've never heard of this guy. I've never heard of him. But I'll look him up right now. There's a way to do the screen where I could show you. I could look it up on screen and show you, but I don't know how to do that. And I have a feeling if I tried it now, with the way tonight started out, I'm not even gonna take that chance. All right. Let's see here. Let me get this guy's name here. Salvador Dali. His work came right up. Oh, okay. Is this it right here? The with the clocks. Oh, come on. All right. Well, I'm trying to. Wow. Okay. Well, whatever gremlins were in my computer are now apparently on my phone, because I'm trying to get the image brought up to where I can show you. You know, that one with the clocks laying there. I mean, at least that came up when I pulled his name up. Oh, this is some weird stuff. Holy cow. Yeah, he's got some weird stuff here. Look him up if you haven't looked him up. I wish I could do a better job showing you what's on my phone, but apparently that ain't gonna happen. That's some neat stuff, though. He had quite an imagination. Stephanie says, I think I saw that eyeball thing, a Halloween Horror Nights thing. John Wayne says, I haven't even heard of this horror host of our award. Oh yeah, it's a kind of a long-standing award. It's been going on for a little while. Raymond says Dallas was a frequent visitor to Andy Warhol's factory. Andy Warhol, that was another one. Tom says, look up Persistence of Memory by Dali. Brad says, Mickey Mouse is the haunted house. Oh, I remember that one. I do remember that one. Is that the one where they kind of got Mickey, Goofy, and what's the duck? Daffy? No, it's not Donald Duck. Daffy Duck? Oh, no, it is Donald Duck. Yeah, they go in, into a house and they're being plagued by ghosts, tormented. Dee says, par for the course, Brian, par for the course. Dolly, not Dallas, Raymond says. I thought that's what you were saying there. Okay. Brad says, another cartoon short. Yeah, I remember that one. I used to have that one on one of those little things you plugged into the view. It's not a Viewmaster, I don't think it was called, but it was this little projector, and I remember the cassettes for them being like these, almost like the 8-tracks. It was like a long rectangular one. You'd put in this contraption and hold it up, and like you could go forward or backwards or slow it down. I remember that as a kid. I just used to love that thing. That's the one with the clocks, Tom says. Okay, yeah. That's a weird imagination, yeah. Dolly lived till 1989. Used to show up on Carson quite frequently, Tom says. Ah, okay. Interesting. I'm sure you could find some interviews with them then on YouTube. Cool. Yeah, that's some strange. Now, where's he from? Is he from Italy? Did someone say Italian? Oh, no, Spanish. Didn't you say Spanish? The Unholy Night, Brad says. The Unholy Night. Okay. I don't know where these lists are Brad's pulling these from, but that sounds pretty cool. It sounds like some neat titles there. Some of them I've never heard of. Some of them I've very much heard of. So that's cool. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Jack will be back. You never know. Or maybe, just maybe, at that time he will hand the reins over to another horror host who will I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see how that goes. Be a lot easier for someone, a certain someone, if Jack wasn't doing everything. Kevin says, good evening. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining us. We are talking about, actually, we're talking about all kinds of, a couple different things at once. We're talking about the artist Salvador, is that his name? Dali. And Brad's mentioning a bunch of public domain movies that are going to be coming, or a bunch of movies that will be coming into the public domain within the next handful of years. Spain, Tom says. I thought so. Okay. More like Unruly Tonight, Bonin says. At least we're hey, at least we're on. You know, I didn't think for the first 15 minutes this was going to work. Brad says, last but not least, House of Horror. House of Horror. Okay. Very cool. Bonin says, well, in 3 minutes, this will be another show in the books. Oh my gosh. See, I did not, well, we started 15. I couldn't get the chat page up for 15 minutes. I can stick around for a little bit. I don't have to. If some of you want to, that's fine. I'll just kind of play it by ear. But, yeah. Pretty soon we'll get back to the topics. Those were a lot of fun. And we might be going late to make up for a late start. Tom says, yeah, I don't know. I'll stay on for a little bit. Brad says, the names I mentioned are coming out next year to public domain. That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to look those up. Maybe, like I said, if I Bonin says, gotcha. What? Yeah, I don't know. Like if Jack Shadow comes back, that'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind having the show again. As I've stated though, I wouldn't be able to do it now. And I knew I was going to be running into this. That's why I kind of pulled the plug on it back when I did in October 2022. But it would be kind of cool. It would be a neat thing to revive it. It would be a neater thing if it was revived as a live program. Jack Shadow interacting with the viewers. That would be really cool. And it would be really cool is if I could get my own Roku channel. Actually watch it on your Roku TV or Roku device or something, but you actually see the show on the Chiller Night Roku channel. You weren't noticing the time. I got you bonuses. Oh yeah. I know. I was shocked. I get started. Well, first of all, the hour typically does go quicker than I like. It's very easy for me to lose track. Now I'll just do a 45-minute show, and it is really super, super quick. John Wayne says, what's the strangest horror movie you can think of? The strangest horror movie? Oh my gosh. Ava watched one last night. Now she's laughing. I can hear her laughing. Oh my gosh. This thing is, what channel was it? Was that on Netflix? It was on Max. It was called Men. It was the Men. It was called Men. Oh my gosh, what a strange! I sat there just like shaking my head. Like, what did you pick? What are you watching? So when you ask the question, what's the strangest horror movie you can think of? I will say that's immediately the first thing that pops in my mind. What Ava picked last night. She's agreeing with me. She's saying, yeah, Jack Shadow live, great idea. Oh, live. I guess live's questionable. I see you have it in all caps there. Emphasize. But it says, well, take care, Raymond. Beauty sleep ain't gonna help this old death's head. Yeah, even though he's dead, Tom. Yeah. Bob. Hey! Well, there's my brother Bob. Hey, Bob, thanks for joining us. Hope all is well. Bob says, once I wrestled a Kentucky moon possum. It was nighttime, so it had the advantage, but I made it cry uncle. Interesting. Good for you. Later, I found out it was the neighbor kid. Lawsuits are pending. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, it still sounds like he had it coming, though. I mean, yeah, Kentucky moon possum. That's nice. I like that. Stephanie says, hi, Ava. Well, Bob, we won't have to talk about it. Well, good luck with all that. Brad says, pretty interesting ones that are coming out next year, surprisingly. Gary says, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Okay. What was as one of the strangest horror movies? Okay. Stephanie says, strangest horror movie, Cabin in the Woods. Okay, I did see that one. Raymond says, will the original cast members be used in the future for Chiller Night Theater? I would imagine. I don't know. I would initially say yes, but I haven't thought about it. I don't even know if Jack Shadow will be used, to be honest with you. I think so. I think if I had enough time to do it, I would want to be involved. But Al says, all the talk about pizza tonight. I just had one myself. That does sound good. But rarely, I can't imagine a situation where pizza doesn't sound good. But it says, yeah, I'll fly, Tom. It'll work. It'll fly, Tom. It'll work. Brad says, Ega. Is one of the strangest ones? No. Oh, what about Manos? Where's Paul at, by the way? Aaron says, Bob makes me watch The Greasy Strangler. What? The Greasy Strangler. Okay. Is that before or after wrestling a Kentucky moon possum? Greasy Strangler. I don't know. John Wayne says, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. This one was really crazy. The second part of it was a better one. Okay. Bonus says, watching Manos probably. Yes, probably watching. Probably a lot of us can agree that was one of the strangest horror movies. But Paul really loves it. Let's see. But I will say that one, this came up, popped into my head. It just Men, Men. You watch that, I don't even know what to say about that one. Especially, and I won't give any spoilers other than the ending. Yes, there is a beginning, middle, and end. But the ending is just so bizarre. You just sit there like, why? What? Brad says the strange one is about the music of Iga. He had one job to do, LOL. Yeah, the music and the sound, the whole sound. They had to go back and redub the entire sound because they didn't record. They didn't record the sound to it. Oops, we just made a movie and forgot to record the sound. Better go back and redub that. John says another strange horror movie that is out there is Zat. Now that's Z-A-A-T, also known as The Blood Waters of Dr. Z. Wow, I've never heard of that. And I've heard a lot of horror movies in my day, I'll tell you. But never heard of that. Bonus says, can't do that, Raymond. I'm usually used as a paperweight or a decoration, depending on the season. That's understandable. All right. Raymond says, that'll work on it. All right. So, well, Aaron and Bob, thank you both for joining me. That's my brother Bob and his wife Erin. So, Tom says, look out for snakes. Look out for snakes. Is that a reference to one of the movies? I'm guessing it is. Yeah. Are these some of the are some of you answering what are some of the strangest horror movies you've seen? We're having a lot of fun, aren't we, Brian? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm also thinking of that movie from last night too. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched like the beginning part of it with Ava. And I was getting some stuff done. Yard work and stuff. And I come back in at the end of the movie. I'm sitting there. Like, what in the what? Who would? I don't even know. Joe Expo says, love your show, night. Hey, Joe Expo, thanks for joining us, and thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad you love the show. Line from Iga. Look out for snakes. Oh my gosh, line from Iga. Don't quiz me on that stuff. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen Iga for years. Even though we've played it, I don't sit and watch it every time it's on because it's been a good several years since I've seen Iga. But it says Jay saw that Zat. That movie really has a lot of scenes of people climbing the stairs to and from the lab. Oh? Raymond says, later, Gators. All right, Raymond. We'll see ya. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, this is a strange show tonight. Bob says, the Blob always scares me. You know how I like to watch that. Grape jelly and all. Yes, I do remember you mentioning. Do you remember that one guy who had the I'm talking to Bob now. That he had like a comic post. Like this is back in the early days of the internet. At least my understanding of the internet. It was back in like 2000, 2001 or something like that, or 99 even. Yeah, it might have been 99, late tail end of it. We were posting stuff like that. He was asking these questions. He had like this message board or something like that, and he asked about the horror movies, and I remember you posting something about the Blob. It was so funny. Uh, I don't know why that just took me back, but it did. 24 years it took me back in time. Bonin says, you'd be baffled and surprised of the things you see on your TV screen, Brian. Yes, I was very baffled and surprised last night. I can say without a doubt. It's a movie on par with Manos, Bonin says. Oh, great. You're not really selling it to me, I'll tell you. John Wayne says, I remember a horror film from the 70s. A group of people stand on an island and are attacked by lonely men. I can't remember the title. A group of people stand on an island. Stand on an island and are attacked by lonely men. What? After a while, Crocodile, Bonin says to Raymond. Okay. I have no idea. I don't know which movie that would be. So if anybody if that fits a description, if somebody thinks they know what movie John Wayne or SBC is talking about, I don't know. I've never heard of that one. Well, that's what that is like, you know. A movie on par with Manos. Raymond says, last comment. Because of global warming, the blob will return to life. Frightening. Yes. Brad says, I remember one time I watched Cannibal Holocaust. Wow. Yeah. That was, whose uncle was just eaten by a cannibal? Came up here recently. Cannibal Holocaust. Speaking of weird. No, Cannibal Holocaust. That was a very strange movie. Yes, I do remember watching that one. Very odd. Very odd. Yeah. Very disturbing. Yeah. So, wow. I think we are actually coming up on an hour. So, 58 minutes, I see, with my timer. So, we did all right. For not starting on time here tonight and just barely getting going. And hopefully things will be a little smoother next Tuesday. We'll cross our cyber fingers and hope for the best. And Ava Hoagie's giving me some hearts there. Thank you, baby. Right back at you. So, well, everybody, thank you for joining me and each other here tonight. Have a good night. Have a good chiller night. Oh, wait a minute. Stephanie says, I heard about Cannibal Holocaust. Thank goodness I read the summary instead of watching it. Probably. It's a little disturbing if you're not prepared for it. Yeah. All right, folks. Well, have a good night. Have a good chiller night, and we will see you next week.